Scarlett Johansson, the most beautiful Hollywood actress. Hollywood's home to some of the world's most attractive women. Every year, new actresses come and replace the previous ones. However, some of these actresses have established themselves in the competitive industry and have become almost impossible to be replaced by the new actresses. Some of these names are Angelina Jolie, Alexandra Daddario, and Scarlett Johansson. Among these beauties, we have shortlisted some of the names of Hollywood actresses who have redefined the concept of hotness in the film industry. Check out whether your favorite actress made it to the list. Scarlett is one of the most attractive American actresses in Hollywood and enjoys a huge fan base. She's featured on several magazine covers and has frequently appeared on the list of the sexiest and the hottest celebrities. Some of her most notable movies include The Avengers, The Prestige, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, The Iron Man, Captain America Civil War, and Avengers Age of Ultron. The Aussie actress is one of the rising stars of Hollywood. She's appeared in several movies and television shows. Margot has won and has also been nominated for several prestigious awards. She's established herself not only as one of the most prominent faces in Hollywood, but also as one of the most influential people in the world. Johansson, who plays Black Widow in the Avengers films, earned $40.5 million. That's £31.9 million in the past year, according to the magazine's annual estimates. Angelina Jolie is second with $28 million, that's £22 million, thanks to her pay for Maleficent 2, followed by Jennifer Aniston. Wonder Woman's Gal Gadot is the only new name on the list at number 10. Scarlett Johansson's role as Marvel superhero Black Widow catapulted her to the top of the Forbes annual list of the world's highest-paid actresses on Thursday, landing her ahead of Angelina Jolie. The 33-year-old actress took in $40.5 million in pre-tax earnings from June 1, 2017 to June 1, 2018, which quadrupled her income from the previous year, according to Forbes calculations. Johansson played Black Widow in this year's hit movie Avengers: Infinity War and will return to the role in the 2019 installment from Marvel Studios. Move over Emma Stone. Tinseltown has a new highest-paid actress. Scarlett Johansson leads this year's ranking with $40.5 million in pre-tax earnings between June 2017 and June 2018, making her acting's top-earning female lead. Playing Black Widow in Marvel's Avengers movies has become a lucrative role for Johansson, who quadrupled her 2017 earnings to bump Stone from number 1. She'll return on screen for the fourth installment of the superhero conglomerate series in 2019. But before we continue with Scarlett Johansson, the most beautiful Hollywood actress, subscribe to our channel The Most so that you don't miss out on any future updates. The percentage of budget cost has certainly skewed heavily, particularly on the Avengers movies, to cast now, whereas maybe in the early ones it was more visual effects or below the line, said Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios president and producer last year. But that's okay because the actors are the best effects. Johansson edges Angelina Jolie, number 2, $28 million, who returns to the ranking thanks largely to her upfront pay for Maleficent 2. Jennifer Aniston, number 3, $19.5 million, still earns big bucks 14 years after the conclusion of Friends, making most of her money by endorsing the likes of Emirates Airlines, Smart Water, and Aveeno. Expect her paycheck to skyrocket next year when production begins on her forthcoming Apple series with Reese Witherspoon, who's number 5 at $16.5 million, for which the pair will receive an estimated $1.25 million per episode. Just ahead of Witherspoon, who rejoins the list with movie earnings and Big Little Lies paychecks, is Jennifer Lawrence. The Hunger Games actress's 2 most recent movies, Mother and Red Sparrow, underperformed at the box office, but she still commands big bucks for her turns in the X-Men series and a high-paying Dior contract. Together, the world's 10 highest-paid actresses tallied a combined $186 million between June 2017 and June 2018, before fees and taxes. Earnings estimates are based on data from Nielsen, ComScore, Box Office Mojo, and IMDb, as well as interviews with industry insiders. All figures are pre-tax, fees from agents, managers, and lawyers are not deducted. Overall, the cumulative total is up 16% from $172.5 million in 2017. The list examined actresses the world over, including Australian Cate Blanchett, number 8, $12.5 million, and Israeli Gal Gadot, number 10, at $10 million. Gadot, whose turn as Wonder Woman catapulted her to fame, is the only newcomer on the ranking. The Patty Jenkins-directed blockbuster tallied $821.8 million at the box office and scored a sequel, which accounts for the majority of Gadot's payday this year. Though she only made an estimated 6 figures for the first installment, her increased quote, coupled with a Revlon endorsement, launched her among the highest paid. There was such an obsession in the industry that teenage boys were the primary target box office, said Jenkins, who helmed the smash hit and will be directing and writing its sequel for an estimated $7 million. The industry has had a hard time shifting to acknowledging that they need to hit a more diverse audience. Currently, female characters fill only 28.7% of all speaking roles in film, according to a 2016 study. That lack of roles means that there are fewer opportunities for female stars to earn big bucks. This year, only 2 women broached the $20 million mark, down from 3 in 2017 and 4 in 2016. Notably absent, Amy Adams, Emma Watson, Charlize Theron, and last year's top-ranked Emma Stone, who all failed to earn above the $10 million cutoff for this year's list and dropped off the ranking. Roles for women who are no longer young ingenues are few and far between, yet the highest-paid actresses buck that trend. 60% of this year's list members are over the age of 40. Some have forged their own roles to build opportunities for themselves. Witherspoon co-founded her Pacific Standard production company and Hello Sunshine Media House to option rights for female-led parts. Others, like Aniston, supplement acting income with hefty endorsement deals. Scarlett Johansson was only 17 when she was cast in the role of Great, but the maturity with which she handled such a layered character is there for everyone to see today. For over a decade now, Hollywood star Scarlett Johansson has been seen in an action avatar, kicking the nemesis's gut and flying about in her signature red dresses. But the Academy Award-nominated actor is obviously not just an action hero, nor is she a mere beauty queen, as she was identified during her initial years in the movie business. In her almost 3-decade career, Scarlett has portrayed a variety of women on screen, and to her credit, she was good in a major chunk of them too. One such film is the little-remembered period drama Girl with a pearl earring. I say little remembered because despite having such a strong cast and being nominated for multiple Oscars, rarely is the movie brought up in a discussion when someone mentions the lead stars of the film, Scarlett Johansson and Colin Firth. The 2004 Peter Weber directorial was set in the 17th century and was adapted from the novel of the same name by Tracy Chevalier. The feature deviates a lot from the source material, and as a result we do miss out on some links and details of the events. However, where the editing helps is that it makes Girl with a Pearl Earring that much more concise and to the point. The film, unlike the novel, is solely centered around the relationship of the revered artists Johannes Vermeer, played by Colin Firth, and a peasant worker Grit, Scarlett Johansson. It is their bond that helps highlight not only the unspoken tension between them, but also the glaring class divide, which their friendship suffered from. The plot runs thus. Johannes Vermeer hires a worker from his manor to be his assistant and pose as a model. Vermeer's patron, Tom Wilkinson, has eyes upon Great and even tries to violate her. To appease him, Vermeer instead offers to do a painting for him of Great. Vermeer's mother-in-law loans her daughter's pearl earrings to Great for the portrait, and that ultimately becomes one of the masterpieces produced by the Dutch painter. Scarlett Johansson was only 17 when she was cast in the role of Great, but the maturity with which she handled such a layered role is there for everyone to see today. Not only did her expressions betray her longing for a better station in life for Great, but her almost unrequited love for her master shined upon her face too. Colin Firth was quiet, subdued as Vermeer, and this was intentional since the actor had figured out in his research that Vermeer was a kind of recluse. What helped the movie's case was definitely its exquisite cinematography, handled by Portuguese cinematographer Eduardo Serra. He deftly played with light and colors so that the real world could reflect a sense of similarity to Vermeer's paintings. Weber's handling of the film and its several themes also needs to be acknowledged. Be it the unsaid romance divide by class or the sheer injustice our heroine suffered not only at the hands of men, but by women too. To be a poor young woman who also happens to be conventionally beautiful was considered a bane by the society. In many ways, Girl with a Pearl Earring was a coming-of-age story of Great who comes to realize that the world will continually punish for having ambitions higher than her present station, be it in her personal life or professionally. Based on what we think is worthy, if you have more to share with us, share them in the comments below and wait for our interesting topics coming soon. If you think they deserve to be on this list, share your opinion in the comments below.